Hello, my name is Brad Kreger, and I'm here to conduct a persuasive speech. And so my topic is going to be on leadership. I'd like to open with a quote. Harry S. Truman once asserted that not all readers lead, but all leaders read. And so I found this to be true as well in my own experience as I've grown into a leader. And my goal today is to convince you that if you desire to be a leader in your field, then you must learn to develop a love of reading. Another aspect of reading for a leader is reading for depth and to become more well-rounded. Every leader should read books that expand not only your knowledge in your own career, but also in other aspects of life. In order to become an influential leader, one must learn to succeed at home as well. It's not just about your career. You must learn that our lives are not compartmentalized. You're building on your character. And it's not about just getting results and working hard, but it's also about interpersonal communication and building relationships. And so reading a variety of books will help a leader learn various aspects of life, relationships, and business success. So the central idea of the thesis here is to first understand that readers lead and leaders read, and that books are the key to leadership success. And so I'm going to unpack three main points during this speech. The first one being self-leadership, and that it begins with you. Secondly, processing and application of books. And thirdly, servant leadership, where we see that it's not about you at all. And so we'll start with the first one, that's self-leadership. So when we read books, we want to do so strategically. You want to make a reading list. So it takes a little bit of research on the front end to compile your reading list. And so you want to have focus on leadership books written by experts in your field to make sure that you're on the right path. And again, the idea here is learning to lead yourself, because you can't possibly give something to somebody else or to others that you don't first possess yourself. And it sounds selfish, but actually it's investing. Investing in yourself allows you and gives you the ability to invest in others. And while you're doing so, you definitely want to make sure that you sprinkle in some spiritual type books, family books, parenting books, again, to make you that well-rounded leader. Secondly, we want to talk about staying in your lane. So this is basically focusing on books that relate to you in your career field and not getting distracted by maybe other adventures or other interests that may not serve you well in your career. And then also avoid the temptation to venture into other irrelevant topics. And then thirdly, and another good idea, is to join or start a book club. There's several online book clubs you can join, or you can start one at your place of employment. So the second main point that I'm going to look at is processing and application. This is key. So when you read a book, that's one thing to read through a book, maybe even highlight it, but you want to make sure that you process it properly and you apply it to your job or your life. And so after you finish a chapter or section of a book, you want to make sure you go back and review it so you have a good understanding and a good grasp of the material so that you can build on it as the book progresses. Also, once you finish a book, it's also wise to write a review, an online review, or even just to yourself. And review as many as 1 to 2 books a week. And building on this, as you continue to review books week in and week out, you'll build depth. And so also make sure once you finish the book that you visualize applying the concepts and the ideas of the book to your job. And then finally, prescribe books to other people as doctors do to medications to patients. You'll be surprised as you start reading and you're in your work that you'll see opportunities to do that. The third thing we're going to talk about is servant leadership, and this is the end goal. So it's not about you. We learn to lead other people. So books will teach you to lead effectively. You'll be able to apply your newfound knowledge to influence others. And then you'll use this knowledge not only to lead at work, but at home and in other areas of your life. And so the idea is to give yourself to people, to recommend books to coworkers that may be helpful to them, or a season of life that they're in, or a new promotion that they just recently obtained. And so teach others what you learned in book, the concepts, the idea, offer up ideas for books. And if you lead a team, have your team read a book together that you think would be relevant to a project or the makeup of the team. And in the end, be open to expand other people's horizons and read books that are, again, like I said, are going to be beneficial to them in their career. And so in conclusion, I think it could be said that leaders are not born, they are made. And so you begin your leadership journey today by making a commitment to read great books. All right, so remember, leaders lead, readers lead, and leaders read.